Imagine a world where the constant noise fades away, where the distractions of life fall silent, and you find yourself completely alone, just you and your thoughts. In that stillness, what if you discovered the key to true peace and wisdom? As the great Buddha once said, one is never so free as when alone, for solitude is the pathway to inner peace and wisdom. Today, we'll explore the ancient teachings of Buddhism, revealing how the power of solitude can transform your life. Join us as we uncover 10 profound lessons that show why being alone might be the most powerful journey you'll ever take. 1. Embrace solitude over foolish company. As the great Buddha once said, if you cannot find a good companion to walk with, walk alone, like an elephant roaming the jungle. It is better to be alone than to be with those who will hinder your progress. Buddhism teaches us that the people we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on our spiritual journey. If we are constantly in the company of those who are negative or do not support our growth, they can hold us back from reaching our full potential. In such cases, it's wiser to choose solitude over staying with such company. Solitude is a sanctuary where you can focus on personal growth, reflect on life, and deepen your understanding of yourself and the world, free from distractions and negativity. 2. Spend time alone to know yourself better. To truly understand ourselves, we need to spend time alone. When we're constantly surrounded by others, it's easy to be influenced by their thoughts and feelings, making it hard to connect with our own. Solitude gives us the space to reflect deeply on our thoughts, emotions, and actions, helping us uncover our true desires and values. This self-awareness is the foundation for spiritual growth and living a more meaningful life. As the great Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within, do not seek it without." Solitude provides the perfect environment to cultivate this inner peace and self-awareness. 3. Overcoming the fear of being alone. Many people fear being alone because it forces them to confront their innermost thoughts and emotions. This fear often stems from the discomfort of facing ourselves without distractions. However, in Buddhism, solitude is seen as a powerful opportunity for growth. When we embrace being alone, we can confront and understand our fears, allowing us to heal and grow stronger. Overcoming this fear is a key step in developing inner strength and self-reliance. As the great Buddha once said, "No one saves us but ourselves, no one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path." Embracing solitude helps us face our fears and discover the peace that lies within. 4. Solitude and the Buddhist monastic life. In the Buddhist monastic tradition, solitude is essential to spiritual practice. Monks and nuns spend significant time in silence and seclusion, using these moments to deepen their meditation and connect with their inner selves. This solitude isn't just about being alone. It's about creating a space free from distractions where they can focus entirely on their spiritual journey. Living in solitude allows them to cultivate mindfulness, develop wisdom, and attain a clearer understanding of the true nature of reality. As the great Buddha once said, "Solitude is happiness for one who is content, who has learned the Dhamma, and who sees the truth." The monastic life shows us the profound peace and insight that can be found in solitude. 5. The power of silence. Silence is a powerful aspect of solitude that allows us to connect deeply with our inner world. In a world filled with constant noise and distractions, silence provides a rare opportunity to hear the subtle wisdom of our thoughts and feelings. In this quiet space, we can gain clarity, reflect on our lives, and find answers to questions that may be drowned out by everyday noise. Silence also fosters a sense of calm and peace, helping us to center ourselves and tune in to our true nature. As the great Buddha once said, better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. In the silence of solitude, we discover the profound power of stillness and reflection. 6. The power of self-reliance. Self-reliance is a key principle in Buddhism and an essential part of the spiritual journey. Solitude teaches us this valuable lesson by placing us in situations where we must depend on ourselves, both physically and emotionally. When we spend time alone, we learn to trust our own abilities, make decisions independently, and take responsibility for our actions. This process builds inner strength and resilience, qualities that are vital for navigating life's challenges. In solitude, without the immediate support of others, we are compelled to face our problems head-on. Whether it's finding the motivation to complete a task or dealing with difficult emotions, being alone forces us to dig deep within ourselves for solutions. This self-reliance fosters a sense of empowerment. As we realize that we have the capacity to overcome obstacles on our own. Self-reliance is not just about handling practical challenges. It's also about emotional and spiritual independence. In solitude, we learn to find comfort within ourselves, rather than relying on external sources of validation or happiness. This inner contentment is crucial for maintaining a balanced and peaceful mind, regardless of external circumstances. As we grow more self-reliant, we also develop greater self-confidence. We start to trust our judgment and intuition more, knowing that we have the skills and inner resources to handle whatever life throws at us. This confidence doesn't come from arrogance, but from a deep understanding of our capabilities and limitations. Self-reliance is also a vital component of the Buddhist path to enlightenment. The Buddha emphasized that each person must take responsibility for their own spiritual journey. As he once said, "Work out your own salvation, do not depend on others." This quote highlights the importance of self-reliance in spiritual practice. While teachers and communities can provide guidance and support, the actual work of walking the path must be done by the individual. In solitude, we can reflect on our spiritual progress, set our intentions, and practice meditation and mindfulness without distraction. This focused practice allows us to cultivate the qualities necessary for enlightenment, such as wisdom, compassion, and inner peace. Through self-reliance, we learn to navigate the spiritual path with confidence and determination. Knowing that the journey is ours to walk, solitude teaches us that true strength comes from within. By embracing self-reliance, we become more resilient, confident, and spiritually grounded individuals, capable of facing life's challenges with grace and equanimity. 7. Embracing impermanence. One of the most profound teachings in Buddhism is the concept of impermanence, known as anicca. This principle asserts that all things, whether they are thoughts, emotions, material possessions, or even our own lives, are in a constant state of flux. Nothing stays the same, and everything is subject to change. Understanding and embracing this truth is essential for our spiritual growth. For finding peace in an ever-changing world. Solitude offers us a unique opportunity to deeply contemplate and experience the nature of impermanence. When we are alone, free from the distractions of daily life, we can observe the subtle changes within ourselves and in our environment. We might notice how our emotions shift from moment to moment, how our thoughts flow and evolve, or how the world around us is in a continuous state of transformation. In these quiet moments of reflection, we can begin to accept that nothing is permanent. Not our joys, not our sorrows, not even our very existence. This acceptance is liberating. It allows us to let go of our attachments to things that are ultimately transient. By embracing impermanence, we can reduce our suffering, which often arises from clinging to things we cannot hold on to. For example, when we grasp tightly to the idea of permanence in our relationships, possessions, or status. We set ourselves up for disappointment and pain when these things inevitably change. In solitude, we can practice letting go of these attachments and find a sense of peace in the knowledge that change is a natural part of life. This doesn't mean we stop caring about the things or people in our lives, but rather we learn to appreciate them fully in the present moment, knowing that they won't last forever. The great Buddha once said, "All conditioned things are impermanent." When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. This teaching invites us to develop a wise perspective on life, where we recognize and accept impermanence as a fundamental truth. By doing so, we can approach life's changes with grace and equanimity rather than fear and resistance. Embracing impermanence also helps us live more mindfully. When we understand that each moment is fleeting, we are more likely to appreciate it fully. We begin to value the present moment more, knowing that it will never come again. This mindfulness enhances our experience of life, making it richer and more meaningful. We start to see beauty in the ephemeral nature of all things, the way a sunset fades, the way a child grows, or the way our own thoughts come and go. Understanding impermanence can deepen our compassion for others. Recognizing that everyone is subject to the same changes and losses can foster empathy and kindness. We realize that everyone experiences the pain of losing something or someone they love, and this shared experience can bring us closer together. In solitude, we can also explore the impermanence of the self. Buddhism teaches that what we consider the self is not a fixed entity, but a collection of ever-changing thoughts, feelings, and experiences. By meditating on this in solitude, we can begin to loosen our attachment to the ego and the rigid sense of self. This can lead to a profound sense of liberation as we realize that we are not bound by a fixed identity and that we can change and grow continuously. Solitude is a powerful tool for embracing the truth of impermanence. It allows us to reflect on the transient nature of life, helping us to let go of attachments, appreciate the present moment, and live more mindfully. As we come to terms with the fact that everything is in constant change, we can find a deeper sense of peace and contentment, knowing that this acceptance is the key to reducing suffering and living a more fulfilling life. 8. The interconnectedness of all beings. While solitude often brings us closer to ourselves, it also provides a unique perspective on our connection to the world around us. In Buddhism, the concept of interconnectedness, or interbeing, teaches that all living beings and phenomena are deeply connected and interdependent. This idea suggests that nothing exists in isolation. Instead, everything is part of a vast web of existence where each element influences and is influenced by the others. Spending time alone can deepen our understanding of this interconnectedness. In solitude, we have the space to reflect on our relationships with others, the environment, and the universe as a whole. We begin to see that our actions, thoughts, and feelings do not exist in a vacuum, but ripple out to affect the world around us. For example, a single act of kindness can inspire others to be kind, creating a chain reaction that impacts many lives. Conversely, harmful actions can have far-reaching negative consequences. In solitude, we may also become more aware of how the natural world supports our existence. We might notice how the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat are all gifts from the earth, which in turn depend on countless other factors to exist. This realization can foster a deep sense of gratitude and respect for the natural world, as we understand that our well-being is intricately linked to the health of the planet. The great Buddha once said, "If you light a lamp for somebody, it will also brighten your path." This quote encapsulates the essence of interconnectedness. Our actions not only affect others, but also reflect back on us. When we help others, we too benefit from the positive energy we create. In solitude, we have the opportunity to meditate on this truth and recognize how our lives are woven together with the lives of others. Understanding interconnectedness also shifts our perspective on individuality. While it's essential to develop self-awareness and self-reliance, it's equally important to recognize that we are not separate from the world. Our sense of self is shaped by our interactions with others and the environment. In solitude, this understanding can deepen as we observe the flow of thoughts and emotions and how they are influenced by external factors. Embracing interconnectedness in solitude can lead to a greater sense of compassion. When we realize that we are all connected, it becomes clear that the suffering of others is, in a way, our own suffering. This realization can inspire us to act with kindness and empathy, not only towards those we know, but also towards strangers and even those who may be difficult to love. Compassion becomes a natural response when we see ourselves as part of a larger whole, rather than isolated individuals. Solitude also allows us to reflect on the impermanence and interconnectedness of all things. In nature, we can see this clearly. The changing seasons, the cycle of birth and death, and the way ecosystems depend on delicate balances. These observations can deepen our understanding of how everything is connected through the continuous process of change. This realization can help us to let go of rigid attachments and foster a more flexible and compassionate approach to life. Solitude can provide the space to explore our spiritual connection to the universe. Many spiritual traditions, including Buddhism, have taught that we are not just connected to other beings, but are also part of a greater universal consciousness. In the quiet of solitude, we can meditate on this idea, exploring the possibility that our individual consciousness is part of a larger, interconnected whole. This can lead to a profound sense of unity with the universe, reducing the sense of separation that often causes suffering. Solitude is not just about being alone. It is about discovering our deep connection to everything around us. It allows us to reflect on how our actions impact others and the world, fostering a sense of responsibility and compassion. By understanding and embracing interconnectedness, we can live more harmoniously with others and the environment, contributing to a world that is more compassionate, peaceful, and just. As we recognize that we are all part of the same web of life, our actions become more mindful, our compassion deepens, and our sense of belonging to the world around us grows stronger. 9. The role of mindfulness in embracing solitude. Mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in the moment, is a cornerstone of Buddhist teachings and an essential tool for making the most of solitude. In our fast-paced world, where distractions are constant, mindfulness helps us to slow down and truly experience life as it unfolds. When we practice mindfulness in solitude, we create a powerful space for self-discovery, healing, and spiritual growth. Solitude naturally removes many of the external distractions that keep our minds busy. Without the constant input from conversations, social media, or daily tasks, we are left with our own thoughts, feelings, and sensations. This can be both a challenge and an opportunity. Without mindfulness, our thoughts can easily drift into worries about the future or regrets about the past. However, with mindfulness, we can anchor ourselves in the present moment, observing our inner world without judgment. As the great Buddha once said, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." This quote encapsulates the essence of mindfulness. By focusing on the here and now, we can fully engage with our experiences, whether they are pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. In solitude, this practice becomes even more profound, as there is nothing to distract us from our inner reality. Mindfulness in solitude involves paying close attention to every aspect of our experience, the rhythm of our breath, the sensations in our body, the flow of our thoughts, and the emotions that arise. By observing these elements with curiosity and without judgment, we begin to understand the transient nature of our mental and emotional states. We realize that thoughts and feelings come and go, and that they do not define us. This realization can bring a deep sense of peace and freedom as we learn not to be controlled by our thoughts and emotions. Practicing mindfulness in solitude will help us. Also allows us to deepen our self-awareness. As we observe our thoughts and emotions, we may start to notice patterns, recurring thoughts, habitual reactions, and underlying fears or desires. By bringing these patterns into conscious awareness, we can begin to work with them, transforming unhelpful habits into more constructive ways of thinking and being. This process of self-discovery and transformation is a key aspect of spiritual growth. Mindfulness in solitude helps us cultivate a deeper connection to our surroundings. When we are fully present, even the simplest experiences can become rich and meaningful. The sound of the wind in the trees, the sensation of the sun on our skin, or the taste of a simple meal can become moments of deep appreciation and joy. Through mindfulness, we learn to see the beauty and wonder in the present moment, no matter how ordinary it may seem. In addition to enhancing our experience of solitude, mindfulness also prepares us for re-entering the world of relationships and social interactions. The insights and equanimity we develop in solitude can help us navigate our interactions with others more skillfully. We become more aware of our own reactions and can respond to others with greater compassion and understanding. Mindfulness helps us to be more present with others, listening deeply and communicating more effectively. Mindfulness also plays a crucial role in reducing the anxiety or discomfort that sometimes accompanies solitude. When we feel uneasy being alone, it's often because we are caught up in negative thoughts or emotions. Mindfulness teaches us to observe these thoughts and feelings without getting entangled in them. We learn to recognize them as temporary mental events that do not have to define our experience. This ability to observe rather than react allows us to find peace even in the midst of inner turmoil. Mindfulness is a powerful practice that enhances our ability to embrace and benefit from solitude. It helps us stay present, deepen our self-awareness, and cultivate a sense of peace and contentment. By practicing mindfulness in solitude, we not only enrich our inner lives, but also prepare ourselves to engage with the world in a more mindful, compassionate, and balanced way. As we learn to concentrate the mind on the present moment, we discover that true peace and happiness are found not in external circumstances, but within ourselves, in the quiet spaces of our own awareness. 10. Solitude as a gateway to true peace. Finding inner peace is a core aim of spiritual growth, and solitude is a powerful way to reach this state. In the chaos of daily life, carving out moments of calm can feel almost impossible. We're constantly surrounded by noise, work responsibilities, social interactions, and the endless stream of updates from the digital world. In the midst of this whirlwind, solitude becomes a refuge, a space where we can reconnect with ourselves and rediscover the profound peace that lies within. By stepping away from the hustle and bustle, solitude lets us explore the calmness of our inner being. In this stillness, the stress and worries of daily life begin to fade. Without the constant distractions of the external world, we can focus inward and experience the serene sense of peace that already exists deep within us. The quietness around us in solitude makes it easier to notice the gentle rhythm of our breath and the steady beat of our heart. These natural patterns help us feel grounded and bring calm to our minds and emotions. In this peaceful state, we have the freedom to explore our thoughts and feelings without interruptions or judgments. Solitude gives us the chance to observe our inner world with kindness and curiosity. We can recognize the root causes of our stress, like unresolved emotions, negative thoughts, or hidden fears. By becoming aware of these issues, we take the first step toward healing and letting go, which is vital for finding true inner peace. As we spend more time alone with ourselves, we start to feel a deep sense of satisfaction that isn't tied to what happens around us. This inner happiness grows from understanding and accepting who we truly are. We realize that we don't need constant activity or approval from others to feel content and whole. We can discover happiness in simply being, in the quiet moments where we reflect and connect with our true selves. The wise Buddha once said, "Meditate, do not delay, lest you later regret it." This timeless wisdom reminds us how solitude helps nurture inner peace. Practices like meditation, often embraced in solitude, are powerful ways to calm the mind and strengthen our connection to our inner being. By meditating regularly, we can train our minds to stay calm and steady, even when life throws challenges our way. This mental calmness is essential for inner peace, helping us face life with balance and clarity. Solitude also opens the door to reconnect with our spiritual side. Whether we choose to meditate, pray, or reflect on life's bigger questions, solitude offers the perfect environment to deepen our spiritual understanding. This stronger connection to our spirituality often brings a profound sense of peace, as we better understand our place in the universe and the deeper meaning of our lives. Solitude helps us understand the value of being kind to ourselves. When we are alone, we become more aware of our inner thoughts and how we speak to ourselves. This awareness gives us an opportunity to show self-compassion, forgiving ourselves for past mistakes and building a more caring relationship with who we are. Being kind to ourselves is essential for finding inner peace. It allows us to let go of harsh self-criticism and embrace a calmer, more understanding mindset. The peace we discover in solitude isn't fleeting. It becomes a lasting strength we can carry into our daily lives. The clarity and calm we gain during quiet moments help us stay balanced even in life's chaos. When we regularly take time for solitude, we create a reserve of inner peace that supports us during times of stress or challenges. Interestingly, the inner calm we develop while being alone often strengthens our connection to others. By understanding ourselves better, we become more aware of the feelings and needs of those around us. Spending time in solitude helps us develop greater empathy and understanding, which strengthens our relationships and brings more harmony to our lives. The inner peace we nurture in quiet moments doesn't stay within. It naturally extends outward, positively shaping how we connect with others and the world around us. Solitude is a powerful way to find inner peace. By stepping away from the noise and demands of daily life, we create a sacred space to heal, reflect, and rediscover our true selves. With practices like meditation and self-kindness, we can build a deep and lasting peace that supports us every day. As we embrace solitude, we realize that true peace isn't something we get from the outside. Instead, it's a natural state that arises from within. Once we find this inner peace, it becomes the foundation for a balanced and meaningful life, allowing us to move through the world with calmness, clarity, and kindness. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the power of being alone. Remember, solitude is not something to fear, but a gift to embrace. Through the teachings of Buddhism, we can learn to find peace, clarity, and wisdom in the stillness of our own company. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video with others who might benefit from these teachings. Until next time, God bless. May you find peace in your solitude.